Hey guys, drdecks here. Today we are demoing a deck, and I just wanted to show you some tips and tricks on when you want to safely remove a deck. There are certain ways you should do it and certain ways you shouldn't do it. We don't tear down decks as for television. We never hook anything up to a truck, and we never punch it. That's dangerous. Somebody can get hurt. You can destroy things really easy that way. We like to deconstruct our decks in a systematic manner. So if you like what you see, don't forget to click that subscribe button, hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when we're putting out new content. Thanks for watching today. Let's get going. First thing we're going to do today is when you're tearing down a deck, usually we take the railing out first. We don't ever call in a dumpster. We normally take our flatbed. Our flatbed is 12 foot deep, so everything that we cut usually needs to be around 6 feet or less. So we always try to segment everything into 6 feet or less, just so that it fits in our truck easily and it slides out when we go to dump it. So the first thing we'll do is we'll take out any railing sections that are in the way. So we have a Sawzall, we use that quite a bit, and we also have a couple cordless chainsaws. That's what I'm going to use right now. The only bummer about using a chainsaw is if you hit a nail, you can only do it 2 or 3 times, and that chain's bad, and then you're putting a new chain on. So something to be wary of is try to identify where maybe potential nails are. You can't always though, especially on a demo. So I'm just gonna take this chainsaw and start cutting things apart. I'm gonna get this rail section out of here so we can easily dump stuff off the deck. So right now I have a really nice sharp chain, and that's awesome. As soon as I hit a nail or two though, it's not gonna be so sharp. So I gotta be careful not to do that. There's a nail. All right, that's one section of rail, several more to go. So basically, the reason I cut through the top rail first and then the bottoms of all the pickets, I'm just trying to make a clean 6 foot section that's safe to tear down. I could have cut all the bottoms out, then the top. It doesn't really matter the order too much. I just wanted to do it cleanly and get that section down so that we have a place to dump the rest of our stuff. Again, trying to keep everything at a certain amount of distances so that we're able to fit it in the truck. If it's too long, I have to cut it down before we throw it in the back of the truck. So if we do it now, then I don't have to do as much work after transferring it down to the truck. I cut right here in front of the post because I know there's a bunch of fasteners going into this right here, into this 4x4. So what I'll do is I'll cut the next section out like this, and then I'll cut this post out here, or it might just, you know, it might just wobble off. But this deck's so unstable, it's dangerous. So we want to not sit here. We don't want to sit here and reef back and forth on this too much because the whole deck's gonna move. You, cameraman, you stand back a little bit and I'll show you exactly what I'm getting at. Okay, so first of all, this is a dangerous deck. The beam is right here, and this is only framed in 2x6, this deck here. And there's a almost 5 foot cantilever past the beam. So not only is it bouncy, it's also really wobbly. As a matter of fact, I'm making that deck wobble too. Earthquake! I'm gonna cut another section of rail out, and then I'll show you what I do at the post. A lot of times I'm going to take this stuff and disassemble it some more just so it fits better in the truck. This railing, so it's only holding on with one nail. It comes apart pretty easy. This is something that I do a lot just so it fits better, because the more I can get in the truck, the less trips I have to make to the dump. And this is all pressure treated, so the only place I can take it is to the city landfill. I can't take it to a recyclery or anything like that. So sometimes it's worth taking the time to do it, sometimes it's not. It just depends. Depends on how it's constructed. And this is not constructed very well, so you can just take pickets. All right, so now we just have this, right? And that's how you take care of that. All right, so now that all the railing's down, this deck is a little bit of a challenge because it has star drive screws, Phillips head screws, and nails depending on how old each board is and what type of board it is. There's been several planks that have been replaced, which makes it more of a challenge for us. Sometimes if we don't have luck pulling the screws, we'll just cut in between each joist bay twice and let all the boards fall. But that gets really messy and it's a little bit more dangerous to disassemble. So we prefer to take the decking off. So what they're gonna do is try to pull all these deck boards, they're gonna try to pull all these screws out, and then we'll go ahead and see if we can start pulling the deck boards off after that.
Usually when we're ripping off the deck boards, a lot of guys will use these, I believe, DeWalt little banana bars, and they're pretty easy when you're, starting off a board. You just got to get in there and get underneath it. But we got these guys. I think they're made by a company called Green Tech Tools. I think they're on Amazon actually. But you don't need a joist to hang these on. So all you need is one of these guys. Start ripping off just one board. And then, as Mackenzie will demonstrate, you don't even have to be on the joist, just take it off. Holds the board for you, makes demoing a deck super easy and handy. So yeah, check them out. I believe, Green Tech on Amazon. But yeah, you can see you can even take nails out probably here too. We don't do too much of that, but yeah, these work pretty well.
All right guys, so now we have removed all the decking off this deck. So the next logical step is to take down the frame. Again, this is a really tall part of the deck. It was really wobbly, really sketchy. So we're just gonna take our time and be careful. We're gonna be methodical about this and take these down one joist at a time. We use a couple different tools for removing the decking from the joists. This other tool we use is called a deck wrecker. And it's similar to the demo deck, but it uses a different type of leverage to get the same result. This one's reversible. You can actually change the head around. There's a pin. We kind of made our own retaining device, which is broken right now because these pins like to pop out. But you can actually pop the pin and spin this around. So if you're up really close to the house and you need to get into something, but if you want more leverage, you can spin this thing around, flip that around, and then you can get more leverage with the same tool. This one is designed to get around a 2x material or 4x material. So it comes in handy in certain situations. I think the guys have been using these demo decks all day, and those seem to be doing just fine. So it just depends on what we're doing and how we're doing it will determine the type of demo removal tool that we'll use. So now that all the decking's up, it's time to cut away the joists. Once the joists are cut away, then we'll take down the beam and the posts. Do not fall. It's probably the most important thing. Do not fall, okay? Use good ladders. And probably it's one of the better tips, I think, is working from the outside of the deck to back, or working from the outside of the deck and then working back in towards the house is probably the safest way. Once you get to the point where this is stripped and this is so high off the ground, the guys are probably going to take this down from ladders. It's probably safer than trying to stand on these joists and cut that joist. I'll leave it up to them how they are comfortable. But we have some 12-foot orchard ladders, A-frame orchard ladders that will work really well for this. I'm going to keep moving supplies, and then the guys are going to try to get this knocked down, and so that we can continue taking this part of the deck up. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you learned a little something about tearing down a deck safely. If you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when we're putting out new content. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.